Good afternoon to those on the East Coast of the United States, and good morning to those on the West Coast of the United States in those certain time zones. And welcome to Maconi Entertainment's presentation of some ARCA preseason testing here on iRacing. My name is Jeremy Briggs. Alongside me today is Robert Hill Jr., working in the production booth as well, doing double duty. Excited to have him aboard. We've got, looks like 10 cars, if not a few more than that, getting ready to take the green flag.
Yeah, good afternoon and good morning. Jeremy Briggs, excited to be here at the Daytona International Speedway for what we're calling preseason Thunder here with these ARCA cars. This is a bit of a preparation for drivers such as Jeff Maconi and Brayton Laster before they head down to Daytona and hit the high banks here in just a short while. Like you said, we have about 10 cars here, maybe a little bit more for today's 50-lap feature race. Going to be an exciting one, and why don't we go ahead and do a quick run through the starting grid.
What a great opportunity for a lot of these drivers here that really don't have any real life experience, but they're getting the time to come out here with the real life drivers. Talon Smith is going to be leading us to the green flag. Benjamin Elliott there in second. Andrew Bisnet in third. Ray Vasquez in fourth. Sean Fertile, I can't pronounce that, starting in fifth. Last driver to take time, Jeffrey Maconi, will be rolling off sixth. Seventh, you've got Rick Spencer Walt. Eighth, Eric Laguise. Ninth, you've got Bradley Stefine. 10th, Chris Tripp. Dylan Butler rolling off 11th. Christopher Carter will be rolling off in the 12th starting position. Just behind him in 13th, you got Brayton Laster, another one of those real life drivers getting some experience. 14th, you got C. Bolton. 15th, David Goldstein. And 17th is Jacob Carter. Looks like we got all but maybe 4 drivers, so I think this is a 14-car field right now.
So it looks like we're at 12, Jeremy. The 4 drivers not making the start for this race. Rick Spencer Walt, Chris Tripp, Christopher Carter, and David Bolton. So not too bad. 12 cars deep, as looks like we're going to be getting set to go green here just momentarily. We'll take a quick look at today's weather conditions. Air temperature 71 degrees Fahrenheit with a track temp of 76. As the pace car is off, we'll go back to you, Jeremy, for the start.
As the pace car did make that hard left-hand turn, the green flag is waving. This 50-lap event is underway. A few changes to these cars. This is the Legacy Cup car running a 500-pound weight on top of what they normally run. So these are pretty close to their ARCA cars. Motors probably tuned down just a little bit as these drivers getting these things wound up. I took a couple practice laps earlier, and boy, it takes a long time to get it wound up and up to speed as we go down the backstretch, still gaining speed.
Yeah, Talon Smith doing a nice job of leading the way here in that 51 car. Andrew Bisnet just behind him. The first side-by-side we have is between the 14 of Sean Futrell and the 72 of Ray Vasquez, as they're currently side-by-side for the third and fourth positions. You see Jeff Maconi right there as well. He's currently up on that high lane. His car showing the 31 on the right side of it. That is a Maconi setup shop entry. He, of course, will be getting behind the wheel of an ARCA car for the first time here in just a few short weeks down at the Daytona International Speedway as part of the real world, I was going to say Maconi preseason Thunder, but no, the ARCA Menards preseason Thunder that's going to be going on down there. But these guys putting on a good show here so far. Brayton Laster out here with us as well, one of our partners here at Maconi Entertainment, as Jeff Maconi looking for the top spot. He dives down to the inside.
Jeff Maconi sporting that 31 Rise Motorsports font machine, taking himself to the pole, to the lead right now, but looks like the high line has more cars lined up. Can he lead this lap? We'll see at the line. No, he cannot. The 51 of Talon Smith takes that lap right there, the top line, getting organized. Oh, almost 3 wide. Thought about it, did not. Oh, a little wiggle there, third row back. Whew, these cars are a handful, these drivers. Got the cars up to speed, tires getting up to temperature, lap after lap. These cars will start to handle a little bit different for these drivers. I'm not sure how the fuel is, but we'll see if they can make it to the end on no stops or one stop. We'll see how the cautions play out.
Yeah, I think they'll definitely need to make at least one
Right
stop.
there.
As there we go. We got one around. Eric Lagasse, he's collected many more. We got one on its roof. That's Benjamin Elliott as the caution flag displayed for the first time here today. Dylan Butler involved. Andrew Bisnett, Benjamin Elliott, Eric Lagasse, David Goldstein, I believe, involved as well as multiple cars involved in this one. We'll take a look on the Maconi Entertainment replay machine and see what just triggered that wreck here in just a moment. But that was certainly a big one. You see,
Looks
it all
like
starts around the
15,
15, yeah, of Andrew Bisnett. We'll back
Just
that
gets
up a little
loose.
bit here. So Bisnett, that 15 inside of row number 2, gets loose up into the side of the Talon machine, sends him around, collects numerous others. That's a big one here in Daytona testing. You definitely don't want to do this in real world testing because it's a lot more expensive to repair those cars. As we take a quick look here, I know Jeremy Briggs taking control of a couple of race control items, so a quick run through the front of the field here. Jeff Maconi leading the way ahead of Ray Vasquez, who currently holds on to second. Bradley Stefane up to third. Sean Futrell in fourth. Brayton Laster in that fifth spot. He's going to be racing, I believe, the majority, if not all, of the ARCA Menard Series races this season. Jacob Carter up to sixth. David Goldstein in seventh. Eric Lagasse in 8th, Dylan Butler 9th, and Talon Smith in the 10th spot. Looks like we've lost a couple of cars here due to that incident, but we should see them back out when we do go green, as these drivers will have access to unlimited fast repairs today. As we'll take a quick look down pit lane, looks like it is a busy spot. Sean Futrell down there, Jacob Carter, Jeff Maconi, David Goldstein, Brayton Laster, and Eric Lagasse all getting new tires and fuel. As you see, Benjamin Elliott, Andrew Bisnett both down there with some heavy damage on those cars, just currently waiting on the tow, and then they will get those fast repairs taken care of. So looks like, wow, that 15 car is not looking too shabby right now.
No, it is not. That machine definitely had to get towed. Like you said, it's going to take that 2 minutes mandatory. Hopefully he checked that fast repair
Hopefully.
before he got out there, so he can get that taken care of. But a lot of drivers getting towed. That was a big wreck. I think all but 3 cars came down pit. All but 2 came down pit road. So we'll see if that plays into a tire management game at all, because we're not that many laps in. I'm not sure what their field distance was like, as they have been given the 1 to go signal here on the backstretch. Everybody getting lined up. A couple cars still coming off pit road. They will tag on to the back of the field. So pace car lights are off. We'll see how this restart goes. We got a couple laps in there. Drivers saying these cars are a handful. That they're just like, they're pretty close to their real life counterparts with these weight adjustments. You know, it's not easy driving these cars, and it's just not, you know, drivers expect these slower cars to be easier, but you know, the weight difference and all that stuff can make these cars be a handful, and a lot of drivers found that out here early on. Pace car made that left-hand turn. Looks like everybody is now off pit road as they're coming to the green flag, being led by Bradley Stefane. Ray Vasquez, and that 72 was on the outside. The Vasquez machine looked to be sleeping just a tad. Well, hopefully the 13 of Bradley Stefane does not get too far out in the field, being led right now by David Goldstein in his rearview mirror. Hopefully they don't just drive right around him.
Yeah, taking a look here, Bradley Stefane out to a large lead over David Goldstein. Like you mentioned, if we get Sean Futrell, Ray Vasquez, Brayton Laster, those guys with a head of steam, they should easily be able to pass that of Goldstein and Stefane. And now you see it here. Here comes the train. Choo-choo, we're coming through. Brayton Laster going to be one of those to lose out, though, because he's going to be stuck down on the inside lane, not really have the opportunity to get by these guys. Sean Futrell up on the high side. He's got support by Ray Vasquez, as we'll see if they're able to get to the race lead this time by Jeff Maconi, bringing up the rear of this field. Dylan Butler does look like he has lost the pack, unfortunately, due to his exit from pit lane. But up front, Bradley Stefane continues to lead the way as the 16 machine of David Goldstein took a look 3 wide middle, wasn't quite able to do it. That triggered a bit of a domino effect up on the high side. Sean Futrell had to back out of it, and now the lane going to have to re-energize, recharge, and push once again here, Jeremy.
For just the few cars we have out here, they are definitely put on one heck of a show. Definitely, everybody's trying to have to figure out which lane they want to run right now. It seems like the bottom lane is where everybody wants to be, but I'm surprised the 13 there, Stefane didn't get freight trained. Had a lot of help from behind, from them just being loyal and sticking to his back bumper, because that can lead to a big wreck out. As these drivers still hands full through that trial. You can definitely see those cars moving all over the place. That top lane's got 3 cars put together. Oh, thought Stefane was maybe going to jump up there and maybe pick them up. But it looks like the 06 of Brayton Laster now in the 3rd position.
Yeah, Brayton up to that 3rd spot now on the inside lane. He's got help from behind, seeing what they can do, maybe get up there and battle it out with Stefane and Goldstein. The pusher for Laster on the bottom is the 88 of Eric Lagasse, as they've actually pulled away from the rest of that high lane with Sean Futrell currently up there. Jeff Maconi now jumps down to the inside as well. So we got the top 4 on the bottom. Brayton Laster now taking a look up to the high side. Jeff gonna go with him. The 2 Maconi setup shop cars looking for a bit more here as they work their way into turns number 1 and 2. The Blue Chew 06 of Laster looking to take that race lead, and if he can get a good push by Maconi off of turn number 2 here, he may have a chance to go to that top spot.
Wow, watching Maconi slice and dice through this field. We take a look from our drone cam there on the backstretch, just barely hanging on to that field as they go down the backstretch at 192 miles an hour. These cars are moving, and they've got their hands full. Brayton Laster, Jeff Maconi at top line, trying to get a work at Jacob Carter in that number 17, trying to get hooked up with them. On the inside, you've got the Stefane machine with the 16 of David Goldstein behind him. And the 88 right, the Eric Lagasse machine. Just trying to get that bottom lane put back together. 8 cars, 4 on the bottom, 4 on the top. A lot can still happen as we are now, the event is into the 10th lap.
Now, Jeremy Briggs, I want to point something out here, and this is typical underdog ARCA fashion. Take a look at the roof number on that 31 of Jeff Maconi. We'll see if we can get a good view of it here. It's upside down. So that is typical back of the pack ARCA look right there. And I just love that Jeff's gone all in.
He has definitely gone all in. Trying to get his ARCA license coming up in just a few days, I believe, actually. Next week, I believe. Correct me if I'm wrong. We'll find out here, I'm sure, at some point.
Yeah, no, I think you're right. I think it's next weekend, maybe. They head down to Daytona and hit the track there, because of course we're coming up on a lot of those real world big events down at Daytona, the Daytona 24, the Roar before the 24, both of those events coming up in the next couple of weeks. And then of course the Daytona 500 is going to be coming at us in just no time, and it's always exciting times down there in Florida.
No better place to kick off the racing season than at Daytona.
Well, new leader
was on that top, got really loose.
New leader here, Jeremy Briggs. It is Brayton Laster driving that 06 car. He's got help from Jeff Maconi just behind him as they work their way through turns number 1 and 2. Laster up top, Maconi behind him. Down on the bottom, it's Bradley Stefane with Jacob Carter. And just up the road there, you can see the lapped car. I believe that to be the Andrew Bisnet machine. Yes, it is the 15 car. We saw him took a hefty tumble earlier on in that first caution period, as now Jeff Maconi jumps down to the inside. He's going to go to the race lead with help from Bradley Stefane.
Maconi trying to lead a lap here. You saw that 15 machine. He's already 1 lap down. This will put him 2 laps down as Maconi will lead that lap. Stefane still committed to his bumper. Just Chevys and Fords out here, and it looks like it's 90% Chevy with 1 Ford. at the moment.
Yeah, only Brayton Laster in that Ford. It looks cool though. It's a cool look on the old Ford Fusion.
Man, it takes you right down memory lane. That's exactly what these ARCA cars are. Is that, you know, they're kind of hand-me-downs from the NASCAR Cup cars. Obviously, next gens are a little bit different. They're not really into the ARCA scene. So these are
not even
as close
close
as you can get right here for the real-life ARCA cars. As a 15 will move up to the top and try to stay out of the way. Definitely put them 3 wide. A couple cars here, but looks like everybody doing a good job through the trial. Oh, we got one through the grass. Is that the
David
16
Goldstein.
Goldstein, yeah.
Wow.
Let's take a look and see what happened there.
We'll go ahead and pull that one up here on the Maconi Entertainment replay machine. See what happened to David Goldstein. I think it's going to involve the 88 of Eric Lagasse down on the inside. Looks like Lagasse tried to make a move down on that yellow line. Let's see if we can. There we go. David Goldstein goes through the grass. Not going to collect anybody else, though, so we will stay green. But David Goldstein really taken out of contention if we don't see a caution. But luckily for him, he has picked up a couple of lap cars to help him out here towards the rear of the field.
That'll hopefully stop the bleeding, as that 15 car that was a lap down, now 2 laps down, there of Andrew Bisnett, he's tagged on to this bigger front group, trying to stop the bleeding there. He's just hanging on to it. You can see on my screen, you can see just a little bit of sparking action out of rear of these cars. They're definitely close to the ground.
Oh yeah,
there they've got their hands full. You can kind of see how much it makes those cars upset when they're going through these turns, and these drivers doing a good job. We've had quite a few green flag laps here.
Yeah, definitely had quite a few green flag laps here. We'll see if we can get a good shot of the sparking into the next set of corners here as Jeff Maconi goes up to the high side, looking to take that race lead away from Brayton Laster, and at the line he will. So Maconi to the top spot as the field works their way down towards turn number 1. Again, Jeremy, this is such a cool facility. I've been here once myself. That was back in 2022, and just to walk into the Daytona International Speedway, you see the design that they've put in the infield grass on the front stretch. You see the how big the place is. You take a walk down pit road, whatever you might do there, it is just mind-blowing. It takes your breath away. And folks, if you ever have the chance to get down to Daytona, be sure to do it, because you won't regret it. Whoa, Brayton Laster around. Oh, hard into the inside wall.
Off the track, 1 car incident. Can he get it to pit road to get a quick, fast repair?
And he will. Brayton Laster gonna go for a ride. Let's see if we can get a picture of that one here. It was Laster and Maconi.
I wonder if the fuel burn off might be starting to affect these cars here, because he was up there in the front all by himself. Oh, looks like he might have just clipped that yellow line, and it just kind of goes for a ride. Whew. Big hit. Looks like he did make it to the pit road, though, and getting that fast repair. He may go 1 lap down. Hopefully that stops the damage. We'll see how he can make out. He's going to grab tires and fuel here.
Yeah, I don't blame him.
A little strategy play. Maybe he can't make it to the end on fuel. This might play out for him.
If that was the strategy of Jeremy Briggs, I would definitely reconsider it. You don't want to hit the inside wall. But for Brayton Laster, he is going to make it back out onto the racetrack. He will be 1 lap down, but he should be able to pick up that little gaggle of race cars that are currently 1 lap down just behind him here, and have a little bit of help at least to carry some pace throughout. As you see the field up here, Bradley Stefane, Eric Lagasse, all getting really close together behind the Jeff Maconi machine. So these drivers all starting to pick up that aggression level just a little bit as we get towards the halfway point. Currently 17 laps in, 33 laps to go in today's Maconi ARCA preseason Thunder here on Maconi Entertainment.
If I remember correctly, that design that they do on the infield at Daytona is usually voted on by the fans as well. They usually give you a couple of designs to choose from. So that's usually a fan-voted design on the infield. It's pretty neat. I've been to Dover, Pocono, Watkins Glen, and the Pocono, it is a ginormous trek. You don't realize how big it is until you get out there, and I can only imagine how big Daytona is, because that is huge.
Yeah, it's definitely huge. And, you know, you mentioned Pocono. I got to go there this past season and actually call a little bit of the Truck Series action with the Motor Racing Network from high above turn number 3. We were standing on top of the Coca-Cola sign over there, and that facility is absolutely massive. It doesn't do it justice on television, but it is such a cool place. And another spot that I definitely recommend you do get out and visit here is down on the racetrack here at Daytona. Jeff Maconi still leads the way. Jeremy Briggs, we're seeing Brayton Laster get a little bit of help here. He's got the lap traffic just behind him. He should be able to tuck in, and when he does, maybe we'll see about getting a green flag interview with Brayton Laster, as he currently resides in position number 10. How do you feel about that?
Let's do it. Let's grab Brayton and bring him in here real quick.
All right, we'll bring in Brayton Laster. He's going to be having a quick word here with Jeremy Briggs.
All right, Brayton, this is Jeremy up in the booth, bringing you up here live while you're on the track. Man, that was a little unconventional way to get into pit road, but did you need to pit anyways? That's what the question is up here in the booth.
Yeah, everyone's gonna have to pit eventually. Obviously, I didn't want to do it. Getting loose, I was not a scheduled pit stop. Just got the left side's below the yellow line a little bit there, try and give the guys to the outside a little too much, a little too generous on my end, and this driver error there got below the yellow line, and this car's so light in the rear end. All it needed was a little upsetness, and that's all she wrote.
Well, we appreciate you giving us a few moments while you collect yourself and get back to the tail end of this lead group right here. Hopefully, we'll see if this pit strategy unconventionally plays out for you.
I sure hope it does. I said everyone needs to pit at least once, but we need to make up sometime, somehow, or hope for a caution.
Appreciate the time, Brayton.
Thank you.
That was Brayton Laster, a live race interview. Appreciate Brayton doing that, as he had, like you said, got loose, got the tires underneath that yellow line, and that's all she wrote. So like you said, everybody is going to have to pit at least one more time to his belief. So with that said, Robert, I'm pretty sure nobody here has practiced pit road, as I believe drivers are getting single file. See if they'll come up pit road, but nobody's practiced it, I'm sure.
Oh, I guarantee
tricky.
it. I guarantee they haven't practiced it, as we just saw Jacob Carter get exceptionally loose there in that third position, the 17 machine.
Oh, here we go. We got one coming.
Ray Vasquez coming down very quickly by himself. Looks like he gets it woed up in time, though, so shouldn't be.
Oh.
No, he's actually calling it a day, so Ray Vasquez done for the afternoon.
All right. Guess he, I think he was speeding on the pit road that time and just called it a day. I'm not sure.
He figured it was time for his afternoon nap, so he had to step aside.
Yeah.
One of these rare afternoon events here on Maconi Entertainment. We don't mind.
Yes, it's great to be up here in the booth with you, Robert. Got to thank Jeff Maconi as well for putting this event on for some of these drivers, some of these iRacing just hobby drivers to come out here and get an experience and just try out these cars. Like Jeff said earlier, he tried to make these cars feel as close to the real ARCA car as he could, to what he's heard from around the garage. So these drivers maybe driving almost the real thing, and it's awesome to see a good turnout here on a Saturday afternoon, last minute, and a good turnout to say the least. Got some strategy going on in the field. We got 27 laps to go. We'll say 26 and a half because we're going on the backstretch.
That's right, 26 and a half.
How I feel that. That's how I feel about that one.
We got 6 cars up in that lead pack here, going back to, well, actually, no, not 16 cars in the lead pack. We have 5 lead lap cars up to Sean Futrell, and then the 15 of Andrew Bissonnette up in this group as well. Then we go back to David Goldstein, who has Dylan Butler there with him, Benjamin Elliott, and Brayton Laster. Luckily for Brayton there, Jeremy, he has been able to tack onto the tail end of this grouping, so he will be able to at least have a bit of help. But the unfortunate thing for him is he's already been down pit road. His partners have not.
That's exactly it. So when everybody makes that turn down the pit road, he will be all by himself. And obviously when you're by yourself, you're losing time because you don't have the draft speed. And we'll have to see if he can make up that lap, make up time. As looks like, yes, Ray Vasquez did exit the server, so we appreciate him still coming.
Yeah.
Let's see, we got so Jeff Maconi, Eric Legis, Jacob Carter, Bradley Stefan, they're in 4th. Sean Futrell, they're in 5th. David Goldstein, 6th. Dylan Butler looks like he's in 7th in our last car on the lead lap. When we got 2 cars, 1 lap down. Benjamin Elliott, Brayton Laster, and Andrew Bissonnette still hanging tough, 2 laps down, but he is in this lead group.
Yeah, that's a lucky break for Bissonnette. Unfortunately, early on had that big tumble, lost the right front wheel on that 15 machine, so was able to get the fast repair, come back out, and tack on with the lead grouping. So he should be A-okay. And for him, he's really just hoping for a couple of cautions, which if we have to send these guys down pit road and they haven't practiced it yet, there is definitely a chance that we will see some cautions. As you see the 17 of Jacob Carter going to the high side of Eric Legis. He's got a pusher just behind him and Bradley Stefan as they're going to go 2x2 for that top spot, working their way down the backstretch. Now Maconi, he wrecks. Maconi goes for the block, spins himself on the nose of the 17. We're going to stay green though. Actually, no, we will go yellow as we're going to have some debris out there on the racetrack. The 31 of Jeff Maconi. I got to put the blame on that 31 machine, Jeremy Briggs. He came up to block and timed that a little bit too late.
We've been watching that 31 machine all race long, being really aggressive, trying to stay out towards the front, get some good experience. And it looks like that one might have caught up with them. Let's take a look at this Maconi Entertainment replay. We'll get a better look at what happened here. As you can see, that 31 machine just in the middle there. It looks like it's hard to tell. Yeah, it looks like he was trying to come up, or maybe the 17 maybe just got into him. I'm not sure. It's really just, oh, that 13 does give that 17 quite the shot coming out of turn 2. So I'm not sure if maybe there was a chain reaction that maybe caught up to Maconi as he was losing a little bit of time right there. See the 13 right there, give the 17 a shot. So maybe the 17 was out of the gas trying to avoid contact with Maconi.
I think Jeff goes to make that block and just doesn't get the timing 100% because of that hit from the 13 on the 17 to get him moving a little bit quicker. The speed changes mid move there by Jeff Maconi, and that leads to our second caution of the day, which for guys like Brayton Laster, this is a big break here. Laster should be able to get back onto the lead lap in that 06 car as long as everybody ahead of him does come down pit road. Eric Legis going to head pit side. Sean Futrell, Bradley Stefan, David Goldstein, Dylan Butler coming down as well. I'd expect Jacob Carter also to hit pit road. Jeff Maconi just exiting now, but Brayton Laster and Benjamin Elliott, both drivers, should be getting that wave around here to go back onto the lead lap, which should give us, I believe, 9 cars on the lead lap here when we do go green once again.
We'll have a nice shootout here to the finish. Coming to 20 laps to go next time around as the field will catch up with the pace car. The pace car, it looks like now going through turns 1 and 2. A couple drivers now all coming off the pit road.
Well, Jeremy Briggs, what do you say while we're under caution here? We step aside, have a quick commercial break, and come back with the finish of the Maconi ARCA pre-season Thunder here on Maconi Entertainment.
When you want to be the best, you can't settle for the rest. For anything on iRacing, there's just one name you need: Maconi.
With the launch of Maconi Entertainment and Maconi Competizone alongside Maconi Setup Shop, we now provide the best of the best in setups, paint schemes, coaching, broadcasting, and event organization.
With cars across all 4 license classes, we have what you need to hit the track with confidence. Grab a subscription and save money while going fast at MaconiSetupShop.com/subscriptions.
And remember, at Maconi Setup Shop, there are setups, but your victories.
Racing isn't easy, but experiencing it is. iRacing puts you in the driver's seat with the industry's leading sim racing game. Drive on laser scan replicas of the greatest racing circuits from around the world. Go head-to-head against other drivers chosen by skill-based matchmaking to ensure competitive racing at every level. Compete across all your favorite series. In officially licensed cars, engineered to deliver the most accurate driving experience possible. Join a race or host your own with players from across the globe. Race against the computer or in a league with friends. Feel the thrill behind the wheel. Visit iRacing.com.
Jeremy?
Welcome back to Maconi Entertainment's presentation of Maconi Setup Shop's ARCA pre-season Thunder, as the drivers are getting ready to get the 1 to go signal if they have not already. It looks like, yes, the pace car lights are off. A couple drivers getting caught back on the lead lap. Looks like we've got 9 drivers on the track, 8 on the lead lap. This is the ARCA style NASCAR Cup cars out here right now. A little bit of different weights. Try to make them feel more like the real ARCA cars, as iRacing kind of has a different version at this time. Jeffrey Maconi, you can see right there in the Rise Motorsports looking number 31. Trying to get some practice in before he goes to Daytona. And you can see right there Brayton Laster in that 06 Blue Chew machine, another ARCA driver here in the session, trying to get some practice before the real life preseason Thunder. Robert, any other real drivers that you're aware of in the field?
Not from the ARCA series. Now, I might be completely wrong because ARCA really does change a lot. It gives a lot of opportunity to upcoming drivers. And I know with the new program they have, the Road to Daytona, they're going to be bringing a lot more of the short track guys out to the racetrack, the guys and girls, I should say, because there's some very talented female drivers out there as well, and we hope to see some of them having some success this season. As we're back under the green flag, Eric Legis, David Goldstein, Sean Futrell, Jeff Maconi, and Bradley Stefane, the top 5 with 20 laps to go here. Jeremy Briggs, and it's Eric Legis leading the way down towards turn number 1 for the first time on this restart. As you see David Goldstein pushing up just a little bit to kill the momentum of that high lane. Jeff Maconi slotting in 3rd on the bottom. He's going to want to try to make a move here, see what he can do if it comes to this real world race in the ARCA Menard series to get up there and battle for the top spot, as we're 2x2 for the front 2 rows.
That number 16 purple machine of David Goldstein, he was one of those drivers that was up towards the front there earlier on in this race in the first 20 laps. So now in the back half of the final 20 laps, he now finds himself up in these, trying to run in the 2nd position. And those 2 cars on the outside, the 14 and the 13, had their hands full coming to the trioval that time. As you can see right there, Jeff Maconi ready to pounce as those first 2 rows are 2x2. Jeff Maconi right there, he looks like he's got the number 15 of Andrew Bisnett on his back bumper. Bisnett is currently still 1 lap down. Still here fighting to get himself on the lead lap. Anything can happen in these final 19 laps, as looks like Maconi moves back to the top.
Yeah, Maconi back up to the high lane there. You see him running in that 5th position as Bradley Stefane gets a little bit wobbly behind the 14 of Sean Futrell. That could have been real bad there. The 16 of Goldstein pushing up once again, nearly into the side of Jeff Maconi as they head down the front straight away here, Jeremy Briggs. These guys are kicking it into high gear. The intensity already through the roof with just 18 laps to go. And, you know, we mentioned, yeah, it's a smaller field here today. Just 9 cars still out there on the racetrack, but it has not been short of action, drama, and intensity from the drop of the green flag here this afternoon.
As we look at the front 2 rows, almost like a tandem between those first 4 drivers, as Maconi now gets caught back up. You can see the 15 of Andrew Bisnett, the 3rd car on the inside in that pink machine. He is still 1 lap down. Maybe trying to get his lap back the old school way, maybe lead the pack, as the top's trying to get organized, but the bottom, the shortest way around, seems to be working out.
Yeah, it's definitely interesting to see Andrew Bisnet up there as a lap car, currently holding on to the 9th and final spot in the race. But honestly, he's been one of the Brayton Laster into the outside wall, the 06 Blue Chew entry, the only Ford in the field. I think he might have shuffled himself right out of that Chevy fight ahead of him, as he's going to fall and lose a little bit of draft here. We'll see if he's able to get back up with the rest of the pack. But as I was mentioning, Andrew Bisnet has been one of the strongest cars here this afternoon, in my opinion. Just really has to find a way to work his way back onto the lead lap and back into this fight, because I would not be shocked to see him parked in victory lane at the end of the day, should he get that opportunity to get back on that top lap. Whoa, he might have it.
Whoa, great save there by the number 88 of Eric Laguise. Wow. That was crazy.
That was sketchy. Wow.
As much of these cars as a handful, to see somebody save it, let alone through the tri-oval, is a great piece of driving. That's going to help out Brayton Laster to tack back onto the backside of this field, as they all lost speed and momentum there.
Yeah, Brayton Laster has caught up to Jacob Carter. Carter has a bit of the draft there from Bisnet. So Brayton Laster went from being out of it to right back in the fight. As you see, Eric Laguise, man, he had lost that car and now works his way up to the high side. They're slicing, they're dicing. This is not what you want to see if you're in the middle of the pack, but we're going to actually hop on board with Jeff Maconi, because I think he has a fantastic view of the absolute chaos that's about to kick off.
Jeff Maconi and the number 31 machine at 00 scoring. But you can see when you're behind these cars in front of you, you really can't see a lot. So we're watching all these cars slicing and dicing. And like we said, it's kind of a smaller field, but I think that's what's helping contribute to having that slicing and dicing kind of style of driving, because you can make more moves with less cars on the track. And they are putting on a great piece of driving, as we can see Brayton Laster went from out of it to now trying to find himself back in the top 5.
Yeah, it's pretty impressive to see what these guys have been able to do, especially Brayton Laster. He's lost the draft a couple of times here, now finds himself back up in the fight, as you see Jacob Carter up top with Jeff Maconi. That's your 4th and 6th place cars. They've got Bradley Stefane in the 13. Stefane went up to give a little bit of help, a little bit of draft to those guys, now falls back to that inside lane. Bradley Stefane back outside once again. He's been slicing and dicing, working the lanes, trying to find his way up to the front, as now he's door to door with David Goldstein in the 16 car, who holds on to that 2nd spot just behind Eric Laguise as we come to 13 to go.
Well, these drivers are really pushing these cars in the front of them. The speed is really ramped up. We're doing 193 miles an hour right now. 195 miles an hour into turn 1. These drivers are hauling the mail. The aggression is through the roof. Everybody wants to be the leader. We've got 13 laps to go. Stefan was one of our drivers with the fastest lap here today so far. As these drivers go barreling down this backstretch, man, those Chevrolet SS noses just take it right down memory lane with those awesome street-like vehicles.
Yeah, this was back awesome when we ran the cars that kind of tried to fit the vibe of the real world entries of the Chevy SS, the Ford Fusion and whatnot. I don't think it necessarily did it justice compared to what we have now with the look of the next gen, or the what are we at, Gen 6 now? No, we're the next gen. Yeah, Gen 7. Man, we changed those cars so much.
It does happen.
No more. Never again. Let's just leave
it. I don't know
it.
why they still call it next gen. It's been a few years. You know?
Yeah, it's current gen now.
Yep, and
man, look at this 3-car tandem. This is not going to end well. It was almost a 4-car tandem there. Jeff Maconi takes a peek to the outside of David Goldstein. Eric Laguise is in the center of that 3-car sandwich. Bradley Stefane still leads the way, coming to 11 laps to go. This one ticking off rather rapidly. Andrew Bisnet here, Jeremy Briggs, just hoping for one more caution that he's not involved in to get himself back on lead lap and get into contention for this preseason thunder here at the Daytona International Speedway. as these drivers working their way hard towards 10 to go. Stefane, Legis, Goldstein, Maconi, and Carter, the top 5.
Just licking his chops for that yellow flag, like you said. He's so close, yet so far. Maconi trying to come on that top, trying to get to the outside of this 3-car tandem at the front. They have been so locked in. Looks like Jeff Maconi is going to get to that right rear quarter panel of the Goldstein machine and potentially start pulling him back off that 3-car tandem, and it seems to be working, as he's now got more help from the 17 than the 16 has from the 15 of Andrew Bissonnette, who's still patiently waiting to get himself on the lead lap. Here with these final few laps, 10 laps to go. Who's it going to be? Lots of momentum, movement. Oh, 3 wide. Maconi in the middle. What a move. Legis trying to block it, and it did not work. Maconi said, I'm going to go to the middle and try to make it work anyways. Legis, he's going to get moved to the back. He's not going to forget that move. We'll see what happens when he gets back to that Maconi machine and see how he plays with him.
Yeah, Jeff Maconi with a great move to work his way up to the 3rd spot now. He's about to be door-to-door with David Goldstein. Goldstein holding on to 2nd now as he falls back just ahead of Andrew Bissonnette. Bissonnette back up to the Goldstein machine, giving him a push. That's going to allow Bradley Stefane to hold on to that race lead. 10 laps to go. Make that 9 here at the Daytona International Speedway. It might be preseason thunder, but there's a heck of a lot of lightning here in these closing laps as Goldstein and Maconi go door to door for the 2nd spot. Jeff Maconi down the back straightaway. He's going to go out to that race lead just barely over Bradley Stefane. Stefane with Goldstein on the bottom. Maconi with Carter. They're up on that high lane as that's Bissonnette down on the bottom, holding on to that 5th spot on the racetrack. Still 9th on the leaderboard as he has currently scored 1 lap down, but at the line this time, your race leader is the 31 of Jeffrey Maconi with help from Jacob Carter.
Usually helps to unmute your mic when you're commentating races so everybody can hear you, as we are now down to the final 8 laps. Maconi putting on a clinic right now, doing some great side drafting to get himself up to the lead, trying to lead that bottom lane, but the 13 trying to go 3 wide around Maconi. Man, what a battle we got going down the backstretch. We got Jacob Carter all the way up to the top. Jacob Carter comes down to the bottom. Legis trying to make himself back up to that 2nd spot. We're 3 wide for 2nd with Maconi on the help on the bottom. Woo, that was really close off of turn 4. This is some great racing these drivers are putting on as we are now 7 laps to go.
Wow, this is definitely getting chaotic here. Maconi looking for the high side lead once again.
What's Legis going to do when he gets there?
Oh, man, Legis is definitely going to push it 3 wide once again. He doesn't care. They've been 3 wide already. That's the 16 of Goldstein on the bottom, the 13 of Stefane in the middle, and as mentioned, that's the 88 of Eric Legis up on the high side. Jeff Maconi to the lead. Once he clears the 17 of Carter, will he drop down? I don't know that he's going to be able to do it. He won't this time, as here comes Eric Legis with help from Brayton Laster up top. Laster trying to get into this fight as well as they come to 6 to go this time. Jacob Carter, Jeff Maconi, your top 2. Bradley Stefane, Eric Legis, David Goldstein, and Brayton Laster up in this lead pack as Laster in the wall.
Wow, does this race not have old school super speedway racing vibes or what? They were almost 3 wide, 2 by 2 for the lead as right now Jeff Maconi. Oh, that contact of 13 was sideways. A great save, still trying to save it. Can he hold on to it all the way through the turn? Oh,
we're wrecking. Oh, big hit. Wow. Sean Futrell with an absolute launch right there. Caution flag is out. Merry Christmas to Andrew Bissonnette, by the way, as he'll get back on lead lap. But let's take a look at this one here, Jeremy Briggs. That was a wild incident right there. Sean Futrell absolutely demolished in that incident.
That racing was so intense, it had me on the edge of my seat. You could see there, it was the number 13 of Bradley Stefane. Got a little loose, maybe a little bit of contact going into turn 1 and saved it, tried to save it all the way through turn 2. You can see he just wheeled that thing left and right, trying to do everything he could. He was 3 wide right there. Just unfortunately did not have enough time to save it, and 14 machine finally was the one to kind of get a little bit of contact right there and just The super speeder racing happens. And look at that, airborne.
What a hit for Sean Futrell right there. He's going to go airborne, like you mentioned, off that 88 machine of Eric Legis, then down into the inside wall. Legis going to hit hard there as well. Futrell even harder, as that machine was broken from that initial impact. Both drivers going to work their way back towards the pits, get those cars repaired, and back out here for what should be a very short shootout to the finish, with Jeff Maconi leading the way here in the closing laps. It's Maconi, Carter, Goldstein, your top three. Then it's Benjamin Elliott, Eric Legis, Brayton Laster, Bradley Stefane, and now back on lead lap, Andrew Bissonnette, with Sean Futrell bringing up the tail of the field. There's a couple drivers coming pit side. Legis, Laster, Stefane, all joining Futrell, who's currently sitting on pit road, getting that fast repair. And Jeremy Briggs, I do believe this will be our first attempt at overtime here today at the Daytona International Speedway.
If not a green-white checkered, it might be a natural green-white checkered. We'll see how it plays out right here, as the drivers are right down on pit road right now, getting the service taken care of. As I said, Jeff Maconi finds himself now in the lead. Those drivers are now peeling. I'm kind of surprised to see Brayton Laster come off pit road. Maybe he wanted some fresh rubber, because he had to stay out last time on pit road. So maybe it does make a little bit of sense. Now that I think about it.
You got to keep in mind as well here, Jeremy, Brayton Laster got the outside wall twice since the last caution flag was displayed here at the Daytona International Speedway here in ARCA preseason Thunder here on Maconi Entertainment. So not a bad idea. Come down, get any possible damage repaired on that 06 by using the fast repair, of course. And coming back out here with a clean car, fresh set of tires, no fuel, so your car's nice and light, and get yourself into that fight.
As pace car lights are off, we're going to be coming to the green flag this time. It'll be 3 laps to go.
There we go. So no overtime yet.
Yet. That is the key word, Robert. No overtime yet.
Yet.
We'll see how it plays out. We got 9 drivers still in the session. 8 drivers going for the win. Andrew Bissonnette is going to get the honorable mention for sticking it out for all these laps. He was 2 laps down at one point.
Wait,
that
Jeremy,
big wreck.
Before we go green, who's your pick to get it done out of these 8 cars that are still out here?
Man, there's so many hungry folks. I'm going to see if the 88 of Eric Legis puts himself in victory lane. How about you?
I'm going to go with the 15 of Andrew Bissonnette. He got back on lead lap. He's going to come up here and get it done as we're back underway.
Bissonnette, like you said, been here all day long now and has a chance to actually win this race. The green flag was waved. We got 3 laps to go. Jeffrey Maconi right now, our leader, has got the number 16 machine of David Goldstein tight on his back bumper. The 88 machine as well lined up behind him. The 17 of Jacob Carter was the old man was the only person on the outside, but now getting help from the 88 of Eric Legis, trying to come down inside draft to break up that top 2 drivers. But there's just more cars in the bottom lined up as we're coming out of turns 3 and 4. We'll come to Trial and see 2 laps to go.
Popsicle sticks about to get out of the freezer here, about to be in the air, indicating 2 laps to go at Daytona. It's Jeff Maconi, David Goldstein, Benjamin Elliott, Bradley Stefane, and Eric Legis, your top 5. Jacob Carter, Brayton Laster, and Andrew Bissonnette bringing up the rear of the field, which at Daytona, that is not a bad spot to be, especially with just 2 laps to go, as Maconi going to lead down the back straight away this time by. They're going to see the white flag. Well, they're hoping to see the white flag anyways, rather than that caution, which will bring us to a regulation finish here at the Daytona International Speedway. Maconi and Goldstein through 3 and 4. Coming to the white flag this time, Jeremy Briggs.
Out of turn number 4 into the trial for the final time. White flag is waving. Jeffrey Maconi is going to be the first one to see that, but will he be the first one to see the checkered flag? Is Goldstein setting up Jeffrey Maconi to make the pass down the backstretch with all the help that 16's got? Is he going to make the move to the outside to get around that number 31? Rise Motorsports looking front for Jeffrey Maconi on that livery as the 13 tries to make the high side work. He's going to block in Goldstein. Goldstein not able to make that pass on Maconi down the backstretch, coming to turn 3 and 4. They are too wide for a second. Everybody is pushing hard. Who's going to see the checkered flag through turns 3 and now through the turns number 4? Jeffrey Maconi out front, spotters in his ear, letting him know how they are too wide behind him. They make contact. Jeffrey Maconi is going to come around and see the checkered flag. Woo! 3 wide for a second on back. What a finish.
What a finish indeed. Jeff Maconi gets the victory here ahead of David Goldstein and Bradley Stefane. That's your podium this afternoon. Benjamin Elliott 4th. Eric Laguise coming home in 5th. Brayton Laster in the 6th spot. Jacob Carter 7th. Andrew Bissonnette going to round out the finishing order in 8th. Sean Futrell, Dylan Butler, Ray Vasquez, and Talon Smith round out the cars that took the start here today. But it's Jeff Maconi victorious this afternoon here at Daytona. A great precursor to his Daytona test coming up here in just a short time down at the Daytona International Speedway in the ARCA Menard Series.
As Jeffrey Maconi comes around to the start-finish line to celebrate, we'll let Jeff do his thing. We'll go to a quick commercial break to see if any drivers can make it into the broadcast booth for a quick post-race interview. We'll be right back after this quick commercial break.
Racing isn't easy, but experiencing it is. iRacing puts you in the driver's seat with the industry's leading sim racing game. Drive on laser scan replicas of the greatest racing circuits from around the world. Go head-to-head against other drivers chosen by skill-based matchmaking to ensure competitive racing at every level. Compete across all your favorite series. In officially licensed cars, engineered to deliver the most accurate driving experience possible. Join a race or host your own with players from across the globe. Race against the computer or in a league with friends. Feel the thrill behind the wheel. Visit iRacing.com.
When you want to be the best, you can't settle for the rest. For anything on iRacing, there's just one name you need, Maconi.
With the launch of Maconi Entertainment and Maconi Competizone alongside Maconi Setup Shop, we now provide the best of the best in setups, paint schemes, coaching, broadcasting, and event organization.
With cars across all 4 license classes, we have what you need to hit the track with confidence. Grab a subscription and save money while going fast at MaconiSetupShop.com/subscriptions.
And remember, at Maconi Setup Shop, there are setups, but your victories.
Yes, we are back. Welcome back to the Maconi Entertainment's broadcast of the ARCA pre-season Thunder racing event that has been put on by Maconi Setup Shop. We are going to grab our 3rd place finisher of Bradley Stefane for an interview. Bradley, number 13, you brought it home in 3rd. Boy, that was chaotic out there, man. Looks like you all had your hands full. Walk us through your event.
Yeah, it was that was kind of chaotic when we were through ride there for them few laps, but man, great race. I had a lot of fun. I haven't driven these cars in quite a long time, and I knew it was going to be kind of a handful. But the draft, it was kind of weird. You know, you'd kind of be stuck. You wouldn't be able to move to the front. You know, you really did have to follow guys. Even I don't. It was just weird because you could two guys on the outside, you could beat the cars on the inside. I don't know. It was just super weird. I don't know. It was something with the air temp and made the cars handle like they did. But man, that was a blast though. I had tons of fun.
It was a blast up here in the broadcast booth. Not having as many cars as we'd like, but it was still a good show. Who do you have to thank for getting you here today?
I just want to thank Jeff for putting this on. You guys in the booth doing a great job. Mac with Tools, Hanksters Motorsports, and that's about it.
Awesome, Bradley. Well, we appreciate your time on this Saturday afternoon to come out here and enjoy some ARCA style racing, and hopefully we'll talk to you again soon at one of these Maconi events.
Yeah, I appreciate it. I'll be around, so we'll see. We'll be seeing you guys.
Sounds good. As that was Bradley Stefane, our third place finisher. We'll grab our winner now of Jeffrey Maconi, the winner of today's event. Man, you had that car all over the place. You were wheeling that thing. You just wanted to win this event. You could see it from the drop of the green. Man, walk us through your event.
Yeah, it was a ton of fun. This whole thing came together as a way for my spotter at Daytona, Rick, and I to work together and get practice. And originally we were just going to do something. I'm like, why don't we throw together a race and then using the cars, that way I get experience in wide the cars are.
Well, a lot of drivers said they appreciate you putting this event on. Jeff, who do you got to thank for everything that's been going on?
It's amazing all the stuff that goes on behind the scenes. Shout out to you guys for coming together and getting this done. It was all, like I said, very last minute. This whole broadcast wasn't even really planned. We tried to do one this morning and couldn't get enough people together, but we made it work this afternoon, which was a ton of fun. Huge shout out to Casey Pruitt, 4K Motorsports, and all that he and his guys do to support me. They're going to be on the car at Daytona. I'm so excited about that. They are awesome people. So go follow them on socials, 4K Motorsports. Just amazing people. Really thankful to them, the whole Maconi Setup Shop team, and obviously Rick for spotting for me, and Tim and Rita Goulet for trusting me behind the wheel of their car at Daytona. I am very excited to drive the number 37J Toyota. It's going to be a lot of fun. We've got a really good engine. I'm actually going to be driving on an Ilmore, which is pretty damn cool for my first time out. I'm excited about that. Sharing the car with two other veterans, Mike and Jason, so that's going to be cool to bounce off of them and learn from them. So I've got a lot to learn, and this is the perfect opportunity to see what I can do and see how I stack up.
And that is one of the great things about iRacing is it helps get a lot of people that real life experience that they don't have just yet. Congratulations on the win, Jeff. Thank you for putting this on, and I'm sure we'll talk to you in the future in the broadcast booth.
Sounds good. Thank you, guys.
That was Jeff Maconi, our winner. We'll do a quick honorary interview with Brayton Laster. Robert, you've got Brayton.
Yeah, standing by here with Brayton Laster after his 6th place run here today. Brayton, what went wrong in those closing laps, and what more did you need to get up there and take that victory from old Jeff Maconi?
Well, then I was sitting there tweeting, going down the backstretch, coming to the white flag, and just wasn't really, sitting there and thinking about pizza a little bit too, and wasn't really planning out a run. I was kind of hoping we'd rack going in turn 3, and that just didn't happen.
Now, obviously, you were thinking about pizza. What kind of pizza was on your mind, and did it have pineapple?
It absolutely did not have pineapple. I had to go for a nice thick, pepperoni crust. Coming in this cold spell we got coming up, tomorrow and Monday in the Midwest. You're expecting 8 to 12 inches of snow. Last estimate I heard. So gonna be snowed in for a couple days, and would love to have a pizza. But I would have loved to have a win there as well. And we were doing pretty good in the early stages of the race. Led a couple of laps there side by side with Jeff. And me and Jeff worked really well getting to the front. He stayed to the front. I had that little oopsie there come off the turn 4. We talked about that a little bit earlier in the race, and never was able to fully rebound from that.
Now, looking ahead to the ARCA Menards season coming up, why don't you fill us in on your plans? Can we expect to see you down at Daytona for the test? And what's your outlook for the season ahead?
Yeah, we're pretty excited. We're running the full 2025 ARCA Menards series, as well as maybe the East schedule as well. So the 4 extra standalone races if we can get funding for it. So going to be full-time next year. Pretty excited for that. My first full-time opportunity. Not going to be at the test, though. We're going to save the time off and save my money as far as, hotels and traveling and Quick Trip tacos and pizza and Buc-ee's apparel, because I'd spend a lot of money at Buc-ee's and Quick Trip if I had that opportunity. So going to save that where I can and save a car as well. A lot of stupid stuff happens at the test, and wishing Jeff the best of luck. Gotta work on a little bit at Winchester. Late last year and kind of get his feet wet in the door, and led to this opportunity with Rise because I was able to introduce Rise there to Jeff at Winchester, and pretty cool opportunity. Kind of see it come full circle. Jeff, I think, is now the 4th driver to drive a late model for our small family operation to then make an ARCA start in the next year or the year after that. So pretty excited for Jeff to go down and get the opportunity and hopefully make an actual ARCA start, like as far as the race goes, at sometime in the 2025 season.
Yeah, definitely exciting times ahead. Brayton, why don't you tell us about some of your partners that are making that ARCA season happen for you?
Yeah, I got to give a shout out to Blue Chew. They were able to help us last or longer here on this race when they're at the very end when we needed it most. And got to give a shout out to Drive for Humanity as well, a 501c3 that I founded a couple of years ago and work with a lot of cool people and a lot of cool partners with that. We're raising funds and food and item and clothing and hygiene materials for the homeless and the hungry. And our plan for 2025 is we're going to go around the country at all 20 plus races we go to this season. We will be donating local food banks. We'll be working with homeless shelters, donating items. We're working with homeless camps and doing what we can there. So if anyone wants to go donate to that, you can go check out driveforhumanity.org. And we have a pretty cool campaign where people can donate $5. And normally donate money to just kind of feel good about it, but we're able to kind of give something back working with Drive for Humanity, and you donate $5 and get your name on my actual car at Daytona, Talladega, and a race of your choice. A pretty unique opportunity for someone to go help feel good about themselves and help someone out.
Definitely cool to see that you're using your platform for the right ways there, supporting a great charity and giving back where you can, Brayton. Best of luck to you this upcoming season, and I'm sure it's not the last time we'll be talking to you up here in the Maconi Entertainment booth.
I hope so. This is actually, I think, the first time I've been talked to as a post-race interview. Normally, I'm the one conducting the interview, so this is kind of a fun point of view, but thank you guys for a great show, and thank you, Jeff, for putting this on.
Absolutely. Best of luck to you, Brayton.
Yep. Thank you, Robert.
That was Brayton Laster, your 6th place finisher here tonight, Jeremy, this afternoon, I should say, after what was a great preseason thunder here at the Daytona International Speedway.
Absolutely, Robert. I got to say, when we were about 3 minutes left in qualifying, I was kind of nervous about the amount of cars we're going to have, but I think we had just the right amount here. Just 2 cautions. I think they put on a great show. Everything, like you said, Jeff said, it was just last minute. Everything was put together, and I think these drivers did come out and did a good job. Any quick final thoughts from you, Robert?
Yeah, not too much for me. It was a great afternoon here. A lot of great drivers out putting on a show for us here on Maconi Entertainment. Obviously, a smaller field, but like you said, just right. We had some great battles all throughout, door to door, wheel to wheel, many times. We saw some great saves. We saw some great wrecks as well. And I'm excited to see what a guy like Jeff Maconi can do down at the Daytona preseason test coming up. We wish him the best of luck. We wish Brayton the best of luck this upcoming season as well. And thank all of you for joining us this afternoon, an early afternoon race here on Maconi Entertainment, but a fun one nonetheless, Jeremy.
You said it right there. It was definitely a fun one. Like you said, mid-afternoon, it felt a little weird seeing the sunlight when I looked out the windows during the broadcast, but it's definitely fun to be a part. And I believe that is going to do it for us here on Maconi Entertainment. My name is Jeremy Briggs. Working the controls and doing some announcing as well for me today was Robert Hill Jr. Appreciate you coming on today. Appreciate Jeff also for putting this event. Got to thank Maconi Entertainment's crew for everything they do behind the scenes. Got to thank Maconi Setup Shop for helping put this on. And we got to thank iRacing for letting us use their platform. We'll see everybody here probably in the next few weeks for another broadcast here on Maconi Entertainment. Everybody have a great rest of your weekend.
When you want to be the best, you can't settle for the rest. For anything on iRacing, there's just one name you need, Maconi.
With the launch of Maconi Entertainment and Maconi Competizone alongside Maconi Setup Shop, we now provide the best of the best in setups, paint schemes, coaching, broadcasting, and event organization.
With cars across all 4 license classes, we have what you need to hit the track with confidence. Grab a subscription and save money while going fast at MaconiSetupShop.com/subscriptions.
And remember, at Maconi Setup Shop, there are setups, but your victories.